Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another Loyalty Card Community Chat. And today I am joined by Spencer. Good morning, Spencer. How are you?
Good morning, Roy. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you, sir.
Good.
Sun is shining. It's a bright Saturday today. So, yeah, we're all, we're trying to smile anyway, aren't we, with what's going on in the world and everything at the minute. But let's talk about Spencer. So, Spencer owns and runs Hutch Garden Rooms. Thank goodness I got that one right. So for all the viewers out there, Spencer, what is Hutch Garden Rooms? What's the concept?
So we are a bespoke building company. So we build offices, gyms. Really, it's another room to your home that is separate. So we build it to a really high spec, as good quality as it would be in your home. So you get plastered walls, painted, finished floor, good cladding. You can have bifolds, French doors. The limits are endless of what you can have in these rooms. So whatever I always say, whatever you want it to be, even if it's wacky and crazy, come to us and I'm sure we can work something out.
So that I love that concept. I think
Yeah.
if we go back many years ago, and a garden room was kind of, I suppose, really like a summer house tucked up in the corner garden that was a thin pine cladding. It might have an extension lead running from the back of the garage if you wanted to,
Exactly.
But that was kind of the original concept, wasn't there?
It was. Yeah, it was indeed. People would just have your regular garden shed, and people just added on little bits at a time. They wanted a little studio or something like that, and they'll be out there freezing cold.
Yeah.
But now that's the times have changed. With what's happening in the world, more people want to obviously working from home, so they want that extra little space that is a comfort. And it can be a comfort. There's different levels you can go for, but there is a real divide between your, like you say, your pine clad shed to your bespoke garden room, which is something that we pride ourselves on.
No, that's good. And again, I think you hit the nail on the head there, particularly with COVID. As estate agents, we've seen an awful lot more people asking for, I suppose, really another reception room or an extra bedroom because they need to, and they need the ability to be able to work from home.
Exactly.
And I think quite often, I myself, and probably like you, I started my business working from home, and I find it really difficult because I only had the conservatory.
Yeah.
And in the winter and in the summer, it was like one extreme to the other with the temperatures, and I ended up in the lounge anyway. But you don't get that physical walk away from work feeling.
Yeah, exactly that. We had one client recently, and he was saying that loves working from home. That's awesome. He got really attached to it about 2-3 weeks in, and then he's got young children, and they started to try and use the other bedroom, but it was almost that he couldn't get into the feel of his work because it was just going from down the corridor into another room. And people, like you say, people like that divide. It's almost a commute. I know it's not far, but
but you're right.
Totally dividing out of your own home, and you haven't got to pack it all away. You can actually leave your desk as your desk, and it is that sense of separate. And the great thing is it's good in that perspective for people working at home, but also for startup businesses or smaller business who want to try something that they may not want may not want to go and spend or sign into a contract with a lease for a place or something like that. So you can invest in your home, and for whatever reason, if that does not work out, God forbid that it doesn't, you can then use it for personal, for a man cave, or there's loads of different things, a family room or stuff like that. There's loads of options.
I mean, the way I view it as well is if you go and rent an office space, and don't really need to. Interestingly, actually, I was having a conversation with somebody I know I was out with on Thursday evening, and we were chatting about sort of options for them, and theirs is very much, it's not, they might hold a few products, but it's similar to us. It's just an office. It's an administration base. And my kind of conversation was, well, that's going to cost you, with people staffing it up, you're looking at £2,500-3,000 a month.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, we don't want to go into the costs of having a garden room built, but I'm pretty confident from, again, my experience of 25 years of doing this, that if you add a good quality garden room to a property and they decide to sell the property in 10 years time, or whatever it is, and depending on what it's doing, etc. So obviously there's lots of variables, sorry. But as a general rule of thumb, that can only add value to a property, can't it?
Indeed it does. So I get quite a few customers come to me, and they want to use it for X, Y, and Z. And then they are looking, they're rightly so, they're comparing against other things that they can have. I never slate the kits. The kit forms are good for whatever they need, whatever purpose they have, they're good for. But I always say the kits, the longevity of the kits range from anywhere from 5, 8 to 10 years. That's sort of, I know it's very loose in the time frame, but
yeah, of course,
that's the sort of time frame where they start to go. Ours are good for if you don't want to really look after it. I know it sounds crazy, but some people just don't look after things. They'll last for 25 years. If you really look after it, I don't want to say 40 years. It will keep going, especially with all the new products like the concrete clad and stuff like that. That just maintenance free. So
just wash it down and you're done, aren't you? Really,
exactly that. So I always say that. Always think of, you might be spending say £7,000-8,000 on a kit. That's great. It'll last you, like I say, between 5 and 10 years. Then you've got to outlay that again, that amount of money if you was to need the room again. Then a lot of them don't come with electrics. They don't come with insulation. They come with
the base,
the doors. Yeah, like the doors and windows are very, obviously depending on where you go, are very low quality. We use really high quality windows, doors, and they can also be changed to help buffer the price. So if you're looking for it to save a bit of money, we can alter those things and look at other things, because obviously people still want our products and our profession, and not everybody can afford it, but we like to obviously balance it out in some areas. There's a few areas that I like to stick and be rigid on, because that's the quality and what we want to give to our clients to help the longevity. But also we are willing to obviously move a bit to help the price on a few material things to, make it more affordable as possible.
Yeah, so it's totally bespoke, but more importantly, and I kind of use this as an example in our industry with sort of do it yourself, selling your home and using an estate agent. I think similar to you guys, it's kind of like, you can tweak a few bits and make some adjustments and make the price work for people. But unfortunately, if you do, you get what you pay for. That's it in a nutshell, isn't it?
No, indeed. So a lot of the time I always state that the product, when I do the quote, I'll give you the quote for the absolute what we recommend. And then obviously if you want to change anything, then our labour is the same, but the only thing that changes is the material that gets put in. But then if we change the material, then obviously your heating values obviously are different, and the quality of some of the materials, i.e. the doors and windows, may be a little bit cheaper than what we would have gone for originally. And that's taste. Some people may not like the look of the stuff that we supply, but we also offer loads of options. So there's loads of options to pick from as well. So
really tailored around what they want to use it for, which is important. And I'm assuming you involve them literally from day one in the planning. So from absolute day one, we go through what their needs are. If they've got kids, it's not just about what they're using it for there and then. What are their plans in the next 5 years? Because they're spending a lot of money, and it's a lot of money just to forecast the next 6 months to use it for. I'd always say, you may not want lights in there and like on that outside at the front. Let's run the cable in. It will cost literally pennies. We probably wouldn't even charge, but have that vision of pre-thinking for, even a year down the line where weather's changed and you might want that light outside, then it's such a quick easy process after, rather than having to do it, later on. Do you get called back, or do you think, obviously I know it's quite early days for you guys, but would you have a facility that if in sort of 10 years time I've got one, I go, can you just kind of give it a bit of a maintenance check, tidy this up, do that? you've got a program that you can do that as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. We also do we offer a 3-month movement period. So after 3 months we come back, and also at 6 months. So we know timber moves, new build houses, they all move. You know, you always get a 30-day period in new builds. We offer 3 months, and then we also do a 6-month revisit. That's to touch up any hairline cracks, because you will get hairline cracks. It's timber moves.
Yeah, of course.
We come back, we touch up, we repaint, and we offer a 5-year structural guarantee as well. So any movement in the structure, we come back free of charge and we alter it. Nothing yet, so we haven't had any issues with any of that so far.
That's what we want to be doing. Yeah.
We're confident in our product anyway.
It's giving customers peace of mind that you can look after them, and it's not just about supplying a room today, taking your money and running off down the high street.
No, absolutely.
It's a case of, look, you're seeing this, I suppose, again, like we do, and many businesses and business owners I talk to. This is a long-term relationship, isn't it?
Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah, so a lot of companies, they come in, they can put these buildings up in small enough. They can do them in the day, 3 days maximum. We're more bespoke, so we actually bring all the raw materials into your garden, and we actually build it, all the walls, everything on site. So our build term is anywhere from 3 weeks to sort of 6 to 8 weeks, maybe possibly longer, depending on the size
of it. Yeah, of course.
So it does really vary. And then just to go back a little bit, we actually deal with everything from start to finish. So if you're looking to have it as accommodation or anything like that, we will help you design the room. If you're not quite set on how you want your build, we'll help you design it. We'll give you 3D drawings. We also deal with all the any other services like electricians, plumbers. We have great contacts that do help us and help sign those sort of areas off.
Yeah.
And also neighbours. Neighbours can be a pain in the backside sometimes. And what we like to do, we introduce ourselves to your neighbours, so they get to know us, and we make us the point of call rather than yourselves, because at the end of the day, we don't live in your home.
Yeah.
And if there's any confusion or questions, we would like them to come to us to ask us the questions. We'll always keep it open. We'll always discuss with you personally as the client about what's going on, but we would like any questions or any concerns to come to us, and we will deal with that. And we want to be respectful, because like I say, at the end of the day, the client's always got to live there, and we want to try and make that such an easy, pleasant experience.
Yeah, got you. And that's really, really good. Again, that comes back to we do a lot of video work with a chap called Roger from Fly High Imaging, Aerial Imaging, and he will always, and I've kind of learned from him, when we turn up to do a video on a house with the drone work, we always knock on the neighbours, and I think it's just been respectful, isn't it?
It is indeed, and I think the building trade has got a bit of a black mark against it from that perspective. It's just, it takes 5 seconds, and it's a bit of common courtesy, and it goes the extra mile. It does really go the extra mile, and it's, like I say, it just helps with business in general, as it makes the job run smoother, and it's really what you need.
You being a natural human being, and you're, as you say, you respect your neighbours, and because there will be noise, there will be banging, there will be sawing, and so on. But at least then I suppose people are very protective of their surroundings. We say it particularly when we move people into a new property, be it rentals or sales. We always kind of just give them that tidbit, light-hearted. Just look for where your neighbours park. Just be respectful. People have lived there 20 years, and people don't like change, and that's what you're bringing, but in a really positive way. So
exactly. So the height of the rooms, without planning, you can go to 2.5 meters high, which doesn't seem high, but it is. From if you've all got low fences, it is quite intrusive, and that's why we show them. We even put up a stick or a bit of timber, and we actually say, this is the height. I know it's very hard to even gauge, because it's just one piece of timber, but it does sort of gauge a height of where we are.
So that was going to be my next point, is obviously things with council, building control, all that kind of thing. So anything below 2.5 meters, not a problem.
Yep.
If you want to go higher, obviously you will have to get. Would it be building control or would it be planning permission? What?
It would be a good point. I would always put that under as planning permission.
Yeah.
It also depends with great to see in architecture. It always varies in county and stuff like that in area. So we always seek the best advice for that area for where we are. We always just come below 50 mil below 2.5, just
to cover it.
Yeah, just to cover. But yeah, it varies so much in, you know, a lot of people want it for living purposes. So straight away, if it's going to have anybody sleeping in there, it has to go down the planning route.
Yeah.
Anything other than living, you don't need any planning permission at all. You can have electrics, a water feed run to it.
Okay.
So that's absolutely fine. So yeah, like I say, the possibilities for it are absolutely endless. We don't like to actually tell people what to use it for, because we could literally do anything with it. If you wanted, there's a swimming pool in there, we could put a swimming pool in there. You know, so it's
no, that's good to know. And I think that would be a fear for some people, is this whole kind of, how big can I make it? How high can I go with it? Am I going to get in trouble with the local authorities? So you are literally, from that word go, from the concept and that first phone call from a customer, right through the whole process, the technicalities, sorting utilities, you just say, and access for that, right through to the final product. Plus, on top of that, you've also got the support network there from you guys as well. As you say, the 3 month, the 6 month, you've got the 5 year sort of structural warranty with it as well. And again, as you said, happy to book in, come out, do a bit of a maintenance service on it whenever people want to. Obviously, there's a charge for that, but I think that's absolutely fantastic, Spencer. So if anybody wants to reach out to Spencer, obviously just click on the links, and we'll put all those up on the post and on our website. But if they've got a loyalty card, Spencer, and I know each property is different and each building is going to be different, so we can't give a ballpark figure on prices, but just reach out to Spencer and I'm sure he can sort of give you the right advice. What can a loyalty card member do with you and get a benefit for?
So we're offering a 5% discount on the overall price.
That's a lot of money, isn't it? Yeah, well done.
It does mount up. It does mount up. And also we will upgrade lights and sockets. So instead of just being your bog standard white, you know, down lights, stuff like that, we'll actually upgrade them to like brushed steel, aluminium.
Wow, fantastic.
Really, so we'll offer you a sort of wide range of things to pick from, really. And
that I can imagine will really finish it off as well, won't it? Really make it that proper nice new room that you can show off to your friends and family. Spencer, that is absolutely fantastic. I mean, as I say, so for anybody watching, that's 5% off the build cost. And then Spencer will also give you the free upgrade of your within a choice. And he can run through all the details on that. And don't forget, they will take care of it literally from sort of what's in your head to the point where you've finished, and a little bit beyond as well, which is absolutely awesome. I mean, I'd like to, Spencer, if possible, maybe let's catch up sort of in the next 3 to 6 months, whatever, because I know you're a busy man anyway. But just catch up, see how things are going, what sort of reaction you're getting. I mean, I'd love to, if you don't mind, Spencer. I mean, when you've done some, I'm assuming you'll start taking pictures of these ones, particularly if they come through the loyalty card with their confirmation. Obviously, we don't want to cause any GDPR issues or anything. But we'd love to help you promote, show some of the viewers this is what you can get. And I massively appreciate your time. Thank you so much indeed. All right, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you very much, Roy. Take care.
Cheers. Take care. Bye bye.
See ya.